Thank you very much. This is Unicorn, a strange mythological band that appears out of the mist about this time of the year. The rest of the year we play Brigadoon, but
the rest of the year we're just missed.
Right, that's true. Which is good, or none of us would be alive. Yeah, as long as they keep missing, we're all set. But at any rate, this is Mr. Dimitri Aletharakis on the upright bass. And Dimitri is from Ipswich, where they invented the clam.
That's right.
Yes. And Dimitri plays with a group called Granite Grass most of the time, which is a good group, but it's a little hard to smoke. Yes. And
only for you, Tom.
True. Rich Stillman on the 5-string banjo. And Rich is a banjo-playing oxymoron because he actually has not one, but at least 2 responsible jobs. He works for an internet company. Well, maybe an internet company if you're surfing the web all day. I don't know if that's really a responsibility. Yeah, but Rich is also a professor of banjo at Tufts University, or as he likes to call it, the banjo department. And my name is Tom Bartlett, and I'm from Molten Borough, and without these guys... let me see. Let's do Black Velvet Band. We kind of literally make this stuff up as we go along, so... But I know Jackie likes this song, and this is my wife Jackie over here, so I have to be nice to her. Uh-oh, he's going after another woman, Jackie. In a nice little town they call Tamworth, apprentice to trade I was bound. And it's many an hour of me happiness I spent in this nice little town, till bad misfortune came o'er me and caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, to follow that black velvet band. Sing it with us. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. Oh, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Now as I went out walking one evening, not meaning to go very far, when I met with a pretty young lady named Jackie, just a working her trade at the bar. When a watch she took from a customer, and she slipped it right into me pants, and the law came and put me in prison. Bad luck to her black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. Oh, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Next morning before judge and jury, for trial I had to appear. And the judge, he says, me young fellow, the case against you is quite clear. And 7 long years is your sentence. Oh, you're going to Bandyman's land, far away from your friends and relations, to follow that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. Oh, you'd think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. So come on, ye jolly young fellows, listening, Peter, I'll have you take warning by me. And whenever you're into your liquor, me boy, beware of the pretty Jackie, for she'll ply you with whiskey and porter till you are not able to stand. And the very next thing that you know, me lads, you've landed in Bandyman's land. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Oh, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I think she was queen of the land. And her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Thank you very much. Let's do Streets of London. This isn't really an Irish song, but all the Irish bands play it, so who are we to stop tradition?
It's because it shows how bad things are in England.
That's true, that's true, that's true. Have you seen the old man closed down market, kicking at the papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and hanging loosely at his side yesterday's papers telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. And have you seen the old gal who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She's no time for talking now, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in two carrier bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. In an all-night cafe, 11:15, the same old man is sitting there on his own. He's staring at the world over the rim of his teacup, and each tea lasts an hour, and he wanders home alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. And have you seen the old man outside the Seaman's Mission? His memory is fading like the metal ribbons that he wears. In our windy city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero in a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Thank you very much. Thank you. A lot of these songs are easy to sing along with, so please feel free to do so. You can clap your hands and stomp your feet, or stomp your hands and clap your feet, depending on how you're put together, I guess. You can dance on the tables. You can do anything you want to do, because number one, it's not my place. And best of all, I don't have to pick it up afterwards, so. Yeah, yeah. Keep Vermont weird. One day a jolly swag man camped beside a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. He sang as he sat and he waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me, a waltzin' Matilda, waltzin' Matilda. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me. He sang as he sat and he waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me. Now up came a jump up to drink beside the billabong. Up jumped the swag man and grabbed him with glee. He sang as he stowed that jump buck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me, a waltzin' Matilda, waltzin' Matilda. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me. He sang as he stowed that jump buck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me. Now up came the squatter, riding on his thoroughbred. Up came the troopers, 1, 2, 3, saying, who's that jolly jump-up you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me, a waltzin' Matilda, waltzin' Matilda. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me, saying, who's that jolly jump-up you've got in your tucker bag? You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me. Now jumped the swag man and sprang into the billabong. You'll never take me alive, said he, and his ghost can be heard as you walk beside the billabong. You'll come a waltzin' Matilda with me, a waltzin' Matilda, waltzin' Matilda. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me. His ghost can be heard as you walk beside the billabong. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me, a waltzin' Matilda, waltzin' Matilda. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me. His ghost can be heard as you walk beside the billabong. You come a waltzin' Matilda with me. Thank you. Let's do Farewell to Nova Scotia in the key of A. Are we ready? Are ready? 1, 2, 1735, hike. The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing on every tree. All nature seemed inclined for a rest, but still there was no rest for me. Farewell in Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. Oh, when I am far away on the briny ocean tops, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Oh, I grieve to leave my native land. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my aging parents whom I always held so dear, and the bonny, bonny lass that I do adore. Farewell in Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tops, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Brothers and they are dressed, their arms are folded on their breast. But a poor simple sailor just like me must be tossed and driven on the deep blue sea. Farewell in Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. Oh, when I am far away on the briny ocean tops, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Oh, I grieve to leave my native land. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my aging parents whom I always held so dear, and the bonny, bonny lass that I do adore. Farewell in Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tops, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Farewell in Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean tops, will you ever heave a sigh and a wish for me? Thank you. This is a Protestant Irish song. Not something you hear very often, but there's a few of them out there. It's called the Old Orange Flute. In the county Tyrone, near the town of Dungannon, there was many a ruction himself had a hand in. Bob Williams, he lived there, a weaver by trade, and all of us thought him a stout orange blade. On the 12th of July, as it yearly did come, Bob would play on the flute to the sound of the drum. You may speak of your harp, your piano or lute, but nothing could sound like the old orange flute. Oh, but Bob the deceiver, he took us all in. He married a papist named Bridget McGinn, turned papist himself and forsook the old cause that gave us our freedom, religion, and laws. Now one of the boys made some comment upon it, and Bob had to fly to the province of Connaught. He went with his wife and his fixins to boot, and along with the latter the old orange flute. Now at Mass every Sunday to atone for past deeds, he said paters and aves and he counted his beads, till one day at last at the priest's own desire, Bob went with the old flute to play in the choir. He went with the old flute to play in the Mass, but the instrument shivered and sighed, oh alas. And try as he would, though it made a great noise, the flute would play only the Protestant boy. Now at the council of priests that was held the next day, they decided to banish the old flute away. They couldn't knock heresy out of its head, so they bought Bob a new one to play in its stead. Now the old flute was doomed, and its fate was pathetic. It was fastened and burned at the stake as heretic, and all through the flames, though they heard a great noise, 'cause the old flute still playing the Protestant boy. Thank you very much. Whistling Gypsy. Do you have a request? Okay, we have a request here from the bass player for Kilgary Mountain.
Nice hat.
Oh, yes.
Great to meet you.
Rich, you remember Kitty?
Yes.
Yes. And Kevin's over there in the blue sweater hiding. Rich has actually been to Kevin and Kitty's house one time many years ago, and I've heard amazing, strange stories about it. By the way, for those of you who were not here earlier, on bass we have Dimitri Aletharakis. And Dimitri is from the land of the clams, Ipswich, Massachusetts. Yes, indeed. And plays with Granite Grass.
That's right.
And, which we already discussed is very difficult to grind up and smoke. But and then Mr. Rich Stillman, our banjo-playing oxymoron. He has not one but two reasonably responsible jobs. Well, although one is an internet job, so how responsible can it be? And the second one is that he is a professor of banjo at Tufts University. So, but banjo is becoming legitimate, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. All I can say is it's a good thing you had that thing in the trunk when that cop stopped you on the way home last night. Weapons of mass destruction, man.
We're just preparing for the banjo apocalypse.
Ah, okay. I thought, didn't that happen in Russia? Rich called me up. He was on Channel 4, and he wanted a copy of the video from the story because there was a banjo convention down in Boston, and it turns out that was the same day that the meteor hit Russia. I had said something about God having a really bad aim. All those banjo players in one place, man. As I went to riding over Kilgary Mountain, I spied Colonel Farrow and his money he was counting. First I drew me pistols and then I drew me rapier, singing stand and deliver, for I am your bold deceiver. Musharingum durum die. Whack po daddy-o, whack po daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. He counted out his money and it made a pretty penny, so I put it in me pocket to take home to darling Jenny. She sighed and swore she loved me and she never would deceive me, for the devil's in the women and they always lie so easy. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Do it, Rich. Musharingum durum time. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, I went into my chambers all for to take a slumber, to dream of golden girls, and of course it was no wonder. Me Jenny took me charges and she filled them up with water, then called on Colonel Farrow to get ready for the slaughter. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. The next morning early, before I rose to travel, there came a band of footmen and likewise Colonel Farrow. First I drew my pistols, for she'd stole away me rapier, but a prisoner I was taken, for I couldn't shoot the water. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. They put me into jail with the judge all writing, for robbing Colonel Farrow up on Kilgary Mountain. But they didn't take me fist, so I knocked that jailer down, and I bid my farewell to this tight-fisted town. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, I'd like to find me brother, he's the one that's in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, be it Cork or in Killarney. Together we'd go riding o'er the mountains of Kilkenny. I swear he'd treat me better than me darling sporting Jenny. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now there's some that takes delight in the carriages and rolling, some that takes delight in the hurling or the bowling, but I takes delight in the juice of the barley and courting pretty maids in the morning oh so early. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Musharingum durum die. Whack po the daddy-o, whack po the daddy-o, in the jar. A song for my friends Kevin and Kitty, who live on Fish Cove. I think I heard you guys sing this song, but I know you got this great big old sign out there in front. Huh? It said if this cottage is rocking, don't... Depends on how many points Kevin has, I guess, but... Went down by the dockside one evening so fair, to view the salt water and take the salt air. I spied an old fisherman singing this song, saying, take me away, boys, me time is not long. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I hear tell, where fishermen go if they don't go to hell, where the skies are all blue and the dolphins do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Now when you get to the docks and the long trip is through, and there's pubs and there's grub and there's lassies there too, where the girls are all pretty and beer is all free, and there's bottles of rum hanging off every tree. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Oh, I don't need a harp or a halo, not me. Just give me the wind and the good rolling sea, and I'll play me old squeeze box as we roll along, with the wind in the rigging, singing this song. Sing it! Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper, no more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates, and I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Oh, I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Thank you. No more, no more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more, no more Greenland for you. In 1853, on June of the 18th day, our gallant ship her anchor she did lift, and for Greenland sailed away, brave boys, for Greenland sailed away. Oh, the lookout on the topsail stood, with a spyglass in his hand. There's a whale, there's a whale, there's a whale fish, she cried, and she blows at every span, brave boys, she blows at every span. Oh, the whale gets straight and the line plays out, and the whale makes a plunder with its tail, and the boat capsized and 3 men got drowned, and we never caught that whale, brave boys, we never caught that whale. Oh, to lose 3 of my gallant lads, it grieves my heart full sore, but the losing of that great sperm whale, it grieves me 10 times more, brave boys, it grieves me 10 times more. place. It's a land that's never green, where there's ice and snow and the whale fishes blow, and daylight seldom seen, brave boys, and daylight seldom seen. Oh, the whale gets strength and the line plays out, and the whale makes a plunder with its tail, and the boat capsized and 3 men got drowned. No more, no more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more, no more Greenland for you. Old political campaign song from down in Boston back in the 1930s. Well, let me tell you the story about a man named Charlie on this tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife, and family went to work the MTA. Now did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still on earth. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Well, Charlie handed in his dime at the Kendallsware station, and he changed for Jamaica Bay. When he got there, the conductor told him one more nickel. Charlie couldn't get off of that train. But did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still on earth. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Play it, Rich. Charlie rides to the stations crying, what will become of me? How can I afford to see my sister in Chelsea or my cousins in Roxbury? But did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still on earth. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Do it again. Charlie's wife goes down to that Scully Square station every day at 2:15. And through the open window she asks, Charlie, your sandwich as the train comes a-rumbling through. But did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. One more time. Citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay? Fight that fare increase and vote for George O'Brien. Get poor Charlie off that MTA, or else he'll never return. No, he'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. return. Now did he ever return? No, he'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever meet the streets of Boston. He's the man who never returned. Well, he's the man who never returned. Yeah, he's the man who never returned. Hey, to Charlie.
Thank you.
It's another one to sing along with. Oh, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in number, we're the finest in the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play the funerals, we play the March of Saul. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals clang and the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Ba-da-da-dum, sing it. Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-ba-da. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-ba-da-dum. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-dum. Right now we are rehearsing for a very swell affair. The annual celebration, all the gentry will be there. When Bobby Stephen heard me sing, he took me by the hand. Says he, I never seen the likes of McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals bang and the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-ba-da. Uncle Julius, and from Sweden I do come to play in McNamara's band and beat the big bass drum. And when we march along the street, the people all do stand. By Yemeni, I'm the only Swede in McNamara's band. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals clang and the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, sing it loud. Ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-dum. One more time now, my name is McNamara, I'm the leader of the band. Although we're few in number, we're the finest in the land. We play at wakes and weddings and at every fancy ball. And when we play the funerals, we play the March of Saul. Oh, the drums go bang and the cymbals clang and the horns they blaze away. McCarthy pumps the old bassoon while I the pipes do play. And Hennessy, Tennessee toodles the flute and the music is something grand. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. A credit to old Ireland is McNamara's band. Woo! Thank you. My name is Mick McGuire, and I'll quickly tell to you about a lady I've been courting named Katie Donahue. She was fair and fat and 40, and believe me when I say, whenever I'd come into the door, you could hear her mother say, oh, Johnny, get up from the fire, get up and give the man a seat. Can't you see it's Mick McGuire and he's courting your sister Kate? You know quite well he owns a farm a wee bit out of the town. So get up, you impudent pup, and then Mr. McGuire sit down. Now the first time that I met her was at a dance at Donegadee, and I very kindly asked her if she'd care to dance with me. I asked if I could see her home, if she'd be going my way. Now whenever I come into the house, you can hear her mother say, oh, Johnny, get up from the fire, get up and give the man a seat. Can't you see it's Mick McGuire and he's courting your sister Kate? You know quite well he owns the farm a wee bit out of the town. So get up, you impudent papa, and then Mr. McGuire sit down. Ah, but now that we are married, her mother's changed her mind, because I spent the money that me daddy left behind. She hasn't got the decency to give me the time of day. Now whenever I come into the door, you can hear the old one say, "Oh, Johnny, come up to the fire, come up, you're sitting in a draft. Can't you see it's Mick Maguire, and it nearly drives me daft. I don't know what to tell him, 'cause he's always on a tear. So stay right there and never you dare to give Mr. Maguire the chair." Harrigan, okay. Another one of those American-Irish songs. Pity, brace yourself. H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N spells Harrigan. For out of all the Irish blood that's in me, a devil a man can say a word agin me, 'cause it's H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N-U-C. Oh, that's a name that a shame never has been connected with Harrigan. That's me. Sing it with us now. H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N spells Harrigan. For out of all the Irish blood that's in me, a devil a man can say a word agin me, 'cause it's H-A-R-R-I-G-A-N-U-C. Well, that's a name that a shame never has been connected with Harrigan. That's me. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, sure the world seems bright and gay. But when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'll steal your heart away. Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in her voice so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her quaint old Irish way. And I'd give the world if I could hear that song she sang today. Tora-lora-lora, Tora-lora-lai, Tora-lora-lora. Hush, now don't you cry. Tora-lora-lora, Tora-lora-lai, Tora-lora-lora. That's an Irish lullaby. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Never mind. Anyway. I think we're going to do one more and call it a day here, because we're starting to run out of songs. But we are called Unicorn, and we are a strange mythological band that rises out of the mist every spring about this time and plays for 4 or 5 gigs and then dissolves back into the mist again, never to be seen until the next spring. And on my far right is Dimitri Aletharakis on the bass. Dimitri's regular gig is with Granite Grass, and I won't say anything about trying to smoke it again, I promise.
You won't. You better not.
Okay. Dimitri is from Ipswich, Massachusetts, home of the Clams. Yes, indeed. Yes. And then we have, what's his name here on banjo? Rich Stillman on banjo. Rich is from Winchester, Massachusetts, plays with Waystation? Southern Rail. Southern Rail is his current group. And they're going to be playing in Wolfboro this summer in August.
Yes. August 17th at the bandstand.
And my name is still Tom Bartlett, and I think I can check my license, but well, this is the song. Sing along with it. Well, now a long time ago when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you've ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born. The loveliest of all was the unicorn. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Well, now God saw sinning and it gave him pain, and he said, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. And he said, hey brother Noah, I tell you what to do now, build me a floating zoo, and take some of them green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, for sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Well, old Noah was there to answer the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started falling, and he marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, hey Lord, I got your green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn, I just don't see no unicorn. Well, old Noah looked out through the driving rain. Them unicorns was laughing and playing silly games and kicking and splashing while the rain was pouring. All them silly unicorns. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees. And Noah cried, close the doors, 'cause the rain is pouring in, and we just can't wait for them unicorns. Well, now the ark started rocking and moving with the tide, and them unicorns looked up from the rocks and they cried, and the waters came in and sort of floated them away. And that Rob Fort gang is why you never see any unicorns to this very day.
He didn't hear you.
Nah, he'd be crying in his beer if he was. You'll see green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're bored, you're never gonna see no unicorn. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Dimitri Letherakis, Rich Stillman. We are Unicorn.
Thank you, folks.